finally doing my most requested video ever. You may not believe it, but in the comment section of literally every one of my videos, people ask me to do what I'm doing now. Now, sorry it took me so long. I'm gonna say that because I promised people I was gonna make this video a couple weeks ago and then I never did. Trust me, I literally have a list of things that I'm ticking off that I need to cover, and I'm so far behind on that list. Now, you may be like, oh my god, you make so many videos today. Girl, I'm working hard, but I need to work harder because I want to make what y'all want to see as well. And today's video is something that I wanted to do as well. So for a little bit of context, around a month ago now, Tati Westbrook uploaded her video called Breaking My Silence, and it was a video addressing the Shane, Tati, Jeffree, and James drama. I have so many videos talking about that, but this video isn't necessarily talking about her narrative. What it is talking about is Pewdiepie responded to it. So he did a live stream, I think a couple weeks ago now, for his members only, I'm pretty sure. Not me giving him promo here. And the part that I needed to watch was over an hour long, so I was like, oof, I am in here for the long run. So this morning, I finally watched it. Y'all will be happy that I finally did. And I've written down some notes that we need to talk about, and he went in on Tati. Like, I've never seen someone go in on Tati as much as he did, and keep in mind, Pewdiepie is the top YouTuber, so per Tati. We may as well start going through the list because it's long. Now, if you want to watch the live stream in which he did this, I will link it at the top of the description below. It's real juicy. But I will be covering most of the points. Spoiler, Pewdiepie hates Tati. So he starts the video by talking about how the video is monetized, Tati's video, and then searches up the Spirit Awakening Foundation, which was what Tati said the money from that video was going to. Now, already in that, retrospectively looking back, we don't know if that's completely true. Like, she didn't give us any, like, receipts of, oh my god, here's the payment going to this foundation. She just kind of told us, and we were kind of like, okay. And we allowed her to have so many ads on this video, and throughout Pewdiepie watching it, so many mid-roll ads came up, and I was kind of like, oh. But Pewdiepie basically said, you don't put ads on a video like this. And then he starts talking about how Tati spent a good portion in her Bye Sister video, the one she posted in 2019, talking about her own brand and how scummy that was. And now, we've talked about this in live streams that we've done, but really looking back on the Bye Sister video, she really just used that as a ploy to plug her own brand, and oh, it didn't age well. Nor do I think it aged well at the start, but we were just kind of like all going along with it for some reason, but I don't know. Like, she literally brought it back to her brand so much. She'd be like, so James did this, and then my brand though is so good. It's like, then Pewdiepie says about how teaching spirituality to kids could actually be a good thing, so this was him praising Tati. Now, this didn't happen much throughout the video, so we'll cherish it while it happened. And literally as he pressed play on the video, again, she was already starting the video crying, and he was just making fun of the fact that she was already borderline crying face. And he was like, bitch, start the video another time. And so many times throughout this, he was calling her a bitch, and then was like, you know what, I won't say that. And then he was like, I really just hate her. He was like, you don't start a video like this crying, film it another time. Then Pewdiepie talked about the timing of this video and how interesting that was, and she posted this video whenever the narrative was changing to not be good for Shane and Jeffree, and that they were the problem, and she then chose to make a video during that time a year later. Which is pretty true, and we haven't had that conversation on how everything did turn to them and she made this video, but she does talk about it in her video that, you know, the reason involved them. And I do understand where PewDiePie's coming, that she kind of waited until this video to post it, that the narrative was kind of off her, and it was more on other people to distract. But still, that being said, her video has hundreds of thousands of dislikes, so it wasn't well received either. PewDiePie said she should be glad that James didn't sue her, but he's glad that her and James resolved it. And then in Tati's video, she also said she was like, I miss you guys so much, and was crying, and PewDiePie makes fun of the fact that she uploaded a month ago and then takes a month off and is crying saying she misses them, which is, looking back again, it's like, he's calling out what we missed. And it's so dumb because the stuff was right in front of our face. And I think even I defended it and didn't make an issue of that. It was just like, like looking back, it really didn't age that well. And it's so weird with stuff like this, every day your opinion changes a little bit more. And especially hearing PewDiePie talk about this, mine definitely changed a lot on her video. But I think a lot of my points on her video that I made at the start after my first watch still stand. He emphasizes the point that it was all Tati's fault. Like, she caused this all to happen, and why is she acting like the bigger person now? And he also said that Tati was pushing other topics to distract. Which, again, looking back, you can look at it from that perspective. She did talk about other things, and that we need to ask for God's forgiveness, and we all need to heal and stuff, and that was very much so taking up time, and this was a 40-minute long video, and that's a long time. Now, that could also be something she did. And Tati made some sort of comment that she never does anything with bad spirit, and PewDiePie was like, you seem very mean-spirited in your last video talking about the Bye Sister video. And again, we rewatched that, me and my subscribers, not that long ago, and looking back, that video aged horribly. Like, that is such a bad video, and I can't believe, even I watched that video a first time in 2019, was like, wow, she's telling the truth, because like, while I do believe in the moment she thought she was actually I don't know what she was thinking. I just think looking back, I don't know how we ate that video up. PewDiePie then said he appreciates her acknowledgement of doing something bad. But again, with him calling it out, it made me realize that she never fully took responsibility for anything throughout this entire video. And I think whenever I first watched this video, I completely disregarded that fact, but really, she did not take any proper responsibility. She would say, she did this, I'm sorry, but... and like take out that word and don't end the sentence. Then in Tati's video she talked about how with today's society it's hard to believe news because of AI bots and stuff, and PewDiePie made fun of this, which even in her video was dumb that she said that, like looking back. And PewDiePie was like, yes, Russian bots were the reason James Charles was cancelled. And he makes fun of the fact that Tati was mentioning bots and fake accounts and just how it didn't mean anything. And again, this kind of fills the narrative that she was just filling up her video with random shit. And PewDiePie says that he wants her to quit YouTube. And then he was like, how old is she? And he pulled up her age and saw that it was 38 and was like, she's done. And says she's fucked up. He says he doesn't want to cancel her, but he wants her to realize how bad this was. And then he pulls up her network and is like, she'll be fine. Now I can't believe PewDiePie, the top of the top YouTuber, like the top of the pedestal, he's right up here, and like all of us are way down here. And he's literally telling Tati, like, I want her to quit YouTube. How old is she? She's done. She's fucked up. I don't want to cancel her, but I want her to realize how bad this was. And then says that she has enough money to... It's like, I can't believe he said this. Everyone was making such a point for me to watch this video, and they were like, Adam, you have to watch this. Like, why haven't you? Why haven't you done a video on this? Why haven't you said your thoughts? And I didn't realize it was going to be as, you know, cutting as this, but really, he went in on her. Like, PewDiePie really went in on her. And we're aware that PewDiePie and James Charles are friends now, and so obviously it has something to do with that as well. But since the start, even her Bye Sister video, PewDiePie was on James's side. And then he basically made fun of her, and he was like, I'm sorry, James, for trying to ruin you over some gummy bears. And now, in my live stream, I also made fun of the fact that it was like, this was over gummy bears. Like, Tati, gummy bears. Pick some other ones up at the supermarket, girl. They're like £1. PewDiePie then said that he would stay as far away from her, Tati, as possible, though. Even if he made up with her after this. And in Tati's video, she said, I love James Charles. He has a special place in my heart. And then PewDiePie went, except for that one time. Which is just like, he made so many, like, jabbing comments that me watching this back, I was like, damn, he's really calling her out. Over this entire live stream, he kept making fun of the vitamins and her crying. And Tati in her video said about how she was more of a mentor than a friend to James. And PewDiePie was like, but you're shaming him over rumors. It's not something a mentor would do. And then he called Tati out for her changing opinions on James being at her wedding. Now in the Bye Sister video, she said she was like embarrassed that he was there and she can't look back on pictures because he's there. And then in her Breaking My Silence video, she was like, I'll always look back on that day fondly. And he was calling her out for being a hypocrite and changing her opinion to when the narrative fits her, which she definitely did looking back again. It's like, looking back at it from a new perspective, like you watching right now, what is your opinion on what she's done in this video now? Because she hasn't said anything since, she's kind of just left again. She insinuated in her video she was getting lawyers involved and she was going to show receipts and stuff, and it's like, is that still gonna happen? It could still. And why is she being so silent? And it's weird, and she's getting backlash, and there's more dislikes, and it's like, ugh. And PewDiePie basically just emphasized the point that nothing in her video and her timeline ever adds up. And he said that Tati was able to manipulate her own audience, so when this video went beyond her audience, she lost that control and people could see it from a more critical view. And so PewDiePie is actually very smart when it comes to knowing about backlash. He's been in his fair share of things, which we won't get into. So him looking at this and being like, yeah, this is what happened. This went outside of your audience that you're able to manipulate. Oh my god, where's the bear? Cancelled, I was looking for you. Where are you?
Allegedly.
I was wondering where it was. I knew something was off. Hey, welcome back. So yeah, he was just able to look at it from that point of view of, yeah, you weren't able to control them anymore. Because it wasn't your daily audience, which makes sense. So he continuously throughout this stream calls her a bitch and then's like, I won't say that, it's rude, I just hate her. And these are like really strong feelings for PewDiePie to say, and he really did not hold back. So I understand now why everyone wanted me to react to this well. And in Tati's video, she said that she deleted the Bye Sister video because YouTube said it wasn't a good look for their platform and they wanted it deleted. And PewDiePie was like, why didn't you take it upon yourself to private the video? Because you knew it was lies, not YouTube having to tell you to delete it. And that's a really good point. And PewDiePie said about how she's shifting blame, not apologizing. And he keeps saying how much he hates her. He briefly brings up that Shane's apology was also terrible. It's like PewDiePie's up here and he's really coming for them. And PewDiePie was like, if you make an apology, you make your apology short and sweet unless you have receipts. And he emphasized the point that Tati's regret was that she was gaslit, not what she did to James. And then he continuously calls her a snake. Oh my god. And he calls her out for not picking the phone up whenever James was calling her. And PewDiePie said something that I was like, oh my god, I had to pause the video and be like, after he said it. So it was a quote from Tati and it said, I was told there were a lot of videos coming forward to expose you. And then PewDiePie went, so I did it for them. And I was like, oh, that's what she did. I was like, oh my god, that's literally what she did. She did the job for them. How have I never like picked up on that? Damn. Did y'all pick up on that? She was like, they're gonna expose you, so I did it first. But then PewDiePie says that he understands her perspective because she heard all these bad things, so she ran to do this video. He didn't sound very convincing saying this though, but I knew he was just throwing like a nice thing in. And he also said that he's surprised that Jeffree Star got away from all this drama easily because he was the one that spread the narrative. And he called Jeffree Star the Keemstar of the drama community. And he said that Jeffree doesn't have real friends, so he relies on drama and tea. And it's like, PewDiePie's coming for them all, like, damn. And in Tati's video, she said about how people call Shane Dawson the king of the truth. And PewDiePie was like, who's ever called Shane Dawson the king of truth? And PewDiePie says he believes that Shane has insecurities where he has to shit talk people. He said Shane seems like it and he believes it. And he believes that Shane did shit talk Jane. And Tati was sob crying that he was watching, and he was like, you think watching a woman cry would make me feel bad? And he was like, I feel nothing. And he said, Tati, stop filming if you're crying because it's a bit dramatic. But he said he doesn't think that she's fake crying because he thinks that she sees herself as a victim and that's why she's crying. And then he pulls up Shane's Instagram live, you know, the infamous one, and was making fun of it and was like, who let him go on live stream? And he was like, Shane Dawson, why didn't you come to me and I would have helped you for a decent amount of cash? And he was just laughing at the fact that Shane Dawson was freaking out so much. And he was like, do y'all think that Shane Dawson will make a documentary about himself because that's the only thing that'll save him? And it's like, PewDiePie, the top creator, is speaking out and saying the things that we're saying on our small channel. And it's like, ooh. And he basically said, Tati, what you upload is your responsibility. And he said that her video, The Bye Sister, and this video was BS. And was like, we saw what happened, Tati. And then he ends it by saying that he hates her, and he's happy that it got so many dislikes. So guys, what is your opinion on PewDiePie? Like, not even just reviewing, but coming for Tati. Like, he did not hold back. He didn't even hold back for Jeffree, Tati, or Shane. He came for them all. And now it's important to note that he is my friends with James Charles, and he helped James Charles, allegedly make the No More Lies videos, so he was very much so involved in that, in my opinion, and so that's also where he's probably coming from in this point of view, and that's why he's defending James so much and going out of his way too. But he also called her out for a lot of inconsistencies in her videos. So what is your opinion on PewDiePie, like the top YouTuber, doing this to all three of them? Like, it's, oof, I'm sorry it took me so long to do this video, but I promised you I would do it, and I did it, and it's just like, what do you think of this? Because this is crazy. So again, if you want to watch his live stream, it is linked below. I would really recommend it. Even though I said so much, this was just stuff that I picked up from watching, so there is so much more. Whew, y'all, the fucking tea. So let me know your opinion. I will see you in the next video, and bye. Mwah.